let's talk about Babylon. Babylon is a frustratingly good movie. It's a movie that does a lot of things exceptionally well, but at the same time, it's bogged down by some really questionable choices. Damien Chazelle is able to transport us into the golden age of Hollywood while Hollywood was trying to discover itself and what it wanted to do. We get behind the scenes look at how productions worked, how chaotic and disruptive they were, and then how everything changed when the talkies arrived and how they had to change up the way and techniques that they used to make film. And then the tragedy of certain actors not being able to transition into those talkies and their life thereafter. Margot Robbie gives a really strong performance in this film. There are moments where I feel like her character is just obnoxiously loud. I know that's the intent, but sometimes it just feels forced and cringy. Diego Calva is a star in this movie. He really steals every scene he's in. But the standout for me, I think, is probably Brad Pitt, who gives probably his best and nuanced performance, where he manages to have humor while having some tragic elements to it. Again, this movie on a technical level is really well crafted and made. But there are some storytelling devices that are used that just make me scratch my head. There's attempts at humor that don't work. There's a lot of bodily fluids in this movie for no necessary reason. And it's just there, I think, because Damien Chazelle thinks it's funny, but it's really not. There's a lot of like these unnecessary moments that kind of drag on, especially in the third act, where I feel like the movie could have wrapped it up. It just dragged on. It's a movie that doesn't earn its 3+ hour runtime, because there are moments where I was checking the clock and, while not necessarily bored, I was like taken out of the story several times because certain things just dragged on way too long. The way that they handle some of the party scenes, I just feel like there was a better approach to it, because it just felt loud and obnoxious and just hard to focus or get any type of excitement or joy out of it. But having said that, I think this movie really excels when it's focused on the movie making and when it talks about films and what it can do for people and what it can express, especially for the common person. There are so many moments in this film that just pay homage to film and filmmaking, and it's just brilliantly done, and it's just done with so much care and love. And that's just what frustrates me about it, because then it just cuts to like an unnecessary moment or a moment of excess that doesn't really work for the storytelling. There are like 2 or 3 different movies in this one movie that I feel like if you focused on the filmmaking aspect of it, it would have been one of the best films of all, of the year. And if you just trimmed it an hour, it probably would have been the best movie of the year. But there's just too much nonsense in it.